Hello again, YouTube. Angry Avatar here, and I'm going to be. Actually, I haven't got that. I haven't had much practice with English. But anyway, we'll be doing some tips and tricks on fighting with the British forces for Company of Heroes 2, because people seem to. Well, I've gotten a surprisingly large. Well, what I consider a large amount of views. I mean, one of my views has got 60 at the time of me making this, which I'm rather surprised about, as a matter of fact. Nevertheless, I'm going to give you some hints on how to play the new British Forces for Company of Heroes 2 that's just been released a few days ago. I've been kind of absent from releasing stuff because I've been back on my Xbox because of things that have been coming out and so on. Anywho, the Brits, if you haven't played as the Brits so far because you either haven't purchased the DLC or you haven't seen them in action, or even if you've played them and you're watching this just to see if you can learn some new stuff, the Brits are a static military force. That's what they're designed to be. That's how they played in Company of Heroes 1. That's how they're going to play in this one. I think I'll...
Machine gun crew awaiting orders.
I think I'll just go with a roll artillery. And I'm just using this map because I rather enjoy it, and if you've... well, when you watch some of my videos, you know I like static defenses. I love static defenses. I'm a static player, so the Brits really do play into the kind of gameplay I play myself. So I've been really looking forward to their release since I played the alpha a bloody long time ago. It's surprising they're actually here. I'm surprised to see them here. Anyway, I'm blathering on a little bit. The British, your standard basic infantry unit that you're going to be playing with is what the announcer just talked about, the infantry section. Infantry sections start off with 4-man, but obviously you can upgrade them to 5, which is what I'm about to do.
Infantry squads will soon have additional manpower.
As he said. Now, the British infantry I would consider one of the best units, base infantry units in the game, actually, now. Because despite the fact that they're only using bolt action rifles, so you'd think, oh, the Yanks probably, the American GIs would be better at close range. Not necessarily. The British use the Elite Enfield Mark, I think it's Mark II at the time of, I'm pretty certain it's Mark II. Any history buffs might be able to correct me on that. But anyway, the Lee Enfield is a 10-round bolt action rifle. If we just try and zoom in, oh, there you go, on that fella there, see? Anyway, that's 10 rounds. So it allows them to shoot off a lot of ammunition without reloading. Actually, they have more ammo in their clips than anyone else. When they're in cover, they get a rate of fire bonus. Now, in green cover, these guys are shooting, I would say, just as fast as American GIs, with rifle accuracy, just like we used to. Okay, Vickers. The Vickers is excellent. I love how they've changed the Vickers into a mobile unit compared to what he... See, they're shooting almost as fast as the game will allow them. Like, literally as fast as the game will allow them. Get them over there. Remember, cover is directional.
New machine gun crew ready and waiting.
Now, with rifles, it's not a good idea to get close. Rifles are just as effective at long... because a lot of mistakes people make when they're new to this is trying to get as close as possible once they realize that range is deadly. But riflemen will kill you just as well at long range as they will at close range. I'll just... there we go, now I've got the bridges held. And we'll upgrade that, go there, go there. The Germans are draining me because they've captured both of theirs, but you know I'm gonna win. I'm fighting against standard. I'm gonna win this. Now, the Brits have a real problem with fuel. Well, just like everyone else. But fuel would be your major thing that you're going for as Brits, because you need to spend stuff on your upgrades to get your powerful units, as everyone knows. You remember the shift key function as well. Now this is actually a poor setup for my MG. I'll tell you in a moment. Now you're thinking, oh, it's got this bridge covered perfectly, which it has. That was the intention. Can you please suppress? Thank you. Now, the Vickers is very good. Love the Vickers. Now, against this bridge, it is a good idea. However, there are much more intelligent ways to set up this MG. I guess we're going to be doing a little bit of instructions on arc fire. Now, MGs are limited by arcs of fire, as you can see. Now, what I should be doing is something more like this. We'll see in a moment. Now, I still have the bridge covered perfectly. I mean, there is no infantry unit that can fit in there without, me shooting at them. But now I have all of this covered, which means if I get flanked by one of these bridges eventually, possibly, I don't know, I have the possible ability of already redeploying. Oh no, here comes a frag. This is gonna hurt. Yeah, I knew that was gonna hurt. I'll have to
The platoon command post is finished and ready for use.
hurry up. Get these upgraded. And get those upgraded with medics. They're gonna head over here. And they're gonna head over there. Anyway, see, now I've got a decent amount of fuel coming in, at least, 38 minutes, not bad. Next thing I'm purchasing are some Royal Engineers, but, at the moment, 38 fuel's not bad at all. Now, doing this with your MGs gives you a lot. See, now, I can now cover from that wall, so anything comes this way. I mean, nothing's going to come from this way, but in a match, it's always a good idea to set up allowing you to, even if your main focus is guarding something like a bridge, you need to keep aware, especially when facing other people. AI, they're kind of stupid when it comes to this kind of thing, and predictable. But that's not their fault. You can only make the programming so sophisticated. But players are not stupid. Now, with this map, we've got a back bridge here, which is a footbridge. Now, players would be using this to their advantage. They would be assaulting from here. So if I was this MG, I would probably actually move it here. Which I will in a moment, actually, come to think of it, once they've finished healing. There you go. I'm going to keep them there. And the Royal Engineers can move up to the center location here, where they can build up a command post in the middle, like that. I think about there should be perfect. Now I have the bridge covered, and I have all the way up to that fence covered. So if the enemy was to come this way, I have a good chance of actually ambushing them with this MG. Makes it more effective. Now, the first major decision you're going to have when you get in to start playing the skirmish phase is whether to take a Bofors or take an armoured car. There are definitely bonuses and disadvantages to taking either one. Bofors is your only means of AA defense. There are still plenty of Germans out there who use a lot of AA doctrines. I do myself. One of my most common ones is to use the anti-tank strafing, which costs 200 munitions. Very expensive, but very deadly against tanks because it's over a certain area. Bofors is also pretty effective against light vehicles because it's 40mm cannon. However, you lose out on the armored car. The armored car is going to be your first piece of armor. You don't necessarily need it,
Flares ready to illuminate the front lines.
because the simple fact is, if you've got the positions either covered by infantry or AT guns, for example, you don't need the armored car really. But it's up to you. It's your decision whether or not you would like to actually do that. Now I'm going to pull them back there, get their manpower back up. Now I'm going to be building a mortar position shortly.
Message received and understood.
But what I'm going to do with these guys is block off here. One fence is all I need, because AI are as thick as pig shit. It's a shame. Maybe they've been improved with the new updates. If you do have noticed that, let me know. One thing I have noticed is the Germans now build bunkers, the standard AI. I tend to fight AI. I like fighting AI. I don't mind flying players once in a while, but I like fighting AI.
New company command post being constructed.
Now, your Royal Engineers are essential. You will need one unit eventually, regardless of what kind of defense strategy or aggression strategy you're going for. Because they, well, repair your vehicles apart from anything else.
Time for a bit of marching. You bloody soldiers, and you?
But they're pretty crap. These guys I would equate to being pretty equal to German Wehrmacht pioneers, which we've all seen them get massacred by things that shouldn't kill them honestly when you think about it logically, but hey, not much you can do about it. Now, the next major thing is you got to decide whether you would like hammer tactics or defense tactics. Churchills are a tough nut to crack. This is what you're going to be basically choosing between your advanced tanks being Churchills or your advanced tanks being Comets. Churchills are a tough bugger to crack. They will take even probably 88 rounds a few times before going down, and we all know how hard an 88 hits. Comets are absolutely lethal tanks. They are, I would consider something equal to American Easy 8s. Then you got your standard Cromwell, so that would be your Sherman without an AA mount. You've got a Centaur, which is a very, very nasty little AA tank itself. Now, mind you, earlier decision you can decide whether or not Bofors. Bofors is more effective than your cruiser, but cruisers are pretty nasty too. And then you've got your Firefly. Your Firefly, which I'm going to deploy one off to show you, is an absolute tank killer. I mean, the Firefly hits harder than any other weapon in the game. An 88 pales in comparison to a 17-pounder off a Firefly. However, to compensate, it has a rotten rate of fire. Now, as you can see, I've got everything here relatively locked down. So I'll have to advance over the river to take some objectives in order to win this match. Otherwise, me and these Germans are going to be sitting here looking at each other at the other side of the rivers until we all die of old age. And so do you, listeners. Well, viewers. Viewers, listeners. Whatever you fancy. Now, one bonus I've noticed with the British trenches is that they are faction owned by you. What does this mean, you ask? I will explain in a moment. Figure out how to Come on, we're just there. Backside. Anyway.
Get the hatch open, your head out and your eyes peeled. Move it out. Eyes
Anyway,
peeled, everyone.
comes that nasty Sherman Firefly.
This upgrade's very nice. Captain ready. Get in the trench. Nice trench. Right, rest.
Now, the trench, see, is owned by me. You can see that right now, that the trench is owned... Oh, we'll go this way.
Howitzers ready to plaster a target.
The trench is owned by me permanently. This is a definite advantage over negativity. The one major disadvantage to trench being owned by you is your allies can't use it. So you can't build trenches for even other British allies. You can only build them for your own infantry. It is
Engine ticking over.
a slight... It's slightly stupid, but hey, you can't win everything, can you?
Message received and understood.
I'm gonna go with hammer tactics today because I need to take the bridge.
Hammer skills are being readied.
But we'll get there shortly. I'm gonna go with both of
Message
these as well.
received and understood.
Awaiting further. Right then.
You can build emplacements with Bofors cannons.
Now, let's march the Sherman over the river and see what he can do. With sappers over. Now, the one thing, well, apart from anything else, you've got for the Brits is you. What's that? Oh, I didn't know. I don't. Oh no, I remember that. I remember that. Man, there's no Germans. It's like no nothing. That's what I was wondering. This is a Sherman, remember. Now, despite the fact that it's got a 17-pounder slapped on the front of this thing, it is a Sherman. So it has the defensive capabilities of a Sherman. So don't expect it to stand toe-to-toe with anything. It's not a tank, it's a tank hunter. Everything everyone should know about tank hunters is that they are good ambush vehicles. As you can see, relatively rubbish against infantry, and don't expect it to, cause wonders. It's an extreme counter, so it's good against vehicles, but it's pretty rubbish against everything else. We need more fuel. We'll just have to wait slightly longer for a comet. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull back our infantry. We're going to pay for some upgrades, and we're going to send them over the river while we stock up fuel. Because I've got a ton of munitions at the moment. Just gotta wait for the upgrades to come through. Now, we're going to take one Piat launcher and one Bofors. Are they Bofors?
Bren guns and Piat
Brens,
launchers can now be used by many units.
No, it's starting with a B.
You can use that here. Pick it up, lads. That Bren gun. Go get it.
Right.
Use yours, lads. Grab what you can.
Now, let's go case some chaos, shall we?
And a capture job. Sappers. Shit, I can fix that.
Now, one bonus to sappers, well, Royal Engineers, it doesn't really particularly matter what you chose,
Sappers ready.
is that
Improved grenades
when they
supplied to Tommies.
fix vehicles, they actually increase the
Repairs completed.
speed of them once they finish for a while. It's only for a short period of time, but a little bit more maneuverability never hurt. Oh, getting close. As you can see, it's an exceedingly large amount of... I mean, a Comet costs as much as 185 fuel. I mean, that's 10 points more than a Panther. Okay, yeah, ow. I mean, that is 10 points more than a Panther, and we all know how nasty Panthers are when it comes to combat. But you're gonna see why it costs 10 points more than a Panther. Those rockets are actually very good against vehicles, but I just wanted to damage the bridge some more.
New job, sir.
You're going to see the comment. And hopefully we'll bring this battle to a reasonably safe conclusion once I get one. Be able to march over that bridge, get hold of the objectives. No, I'm fine, thank you, Father.
Want some soup?
No, I'm good. Can never get out of the way of real life, can we? Well, it doesn't matter. Just shows you I'm human and not just a voice behind a screen.
Some fresh air while you're up there will be good.
Now, another small point of view that a lot of players don't pay attention to is one of two things I noticed when I was bringing two friends into the franchise for basically, well, not for the first time, but trying to teach them how to be better players. Well, one of them's got about as much knack for playing RTSs as a rock. You know, one of those players who just can't get it. I mean, you can't blame them. Playing RTS requires some kind of spark that not all players possess. I mean, it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's just something you don't have. The other one is reasonably gifted, but he's just not experienced in this particular franchise. Now, for those out there, pay attention to this up here, top right screen, where I'm moving my mouse. It will tell you so much about what's going on in the battle. It tells you units being suppressed, whether they're in cover, how wounded they become, so it allows you to quickly select and withdraw from the battle. Absolutely bloody nasty comments. Wow, that's
Coordinated artillery fire is on the
gonna
way.
hit that.
Bombardment on the way. Heads down, chaps.
This is where one of the Royal Artillery pays off. If they can hit. Comet's taking a bit of a smack, so we'll pull back.
Pay attention.
But Comet's hit like a brick shithouse.
Ceasefire! They're bloody dead!
This is gonna need a little bit more punch than I thought it would require.
Pay attention. Orders.
Maybe some artillery support on my own. Mortar position. How far can that shoot? Pretty far. Here.
Ready to bombard with the base howitzers.
That's not bad. That's not bad range. So we're going to set up right there.
Put it change, we're not
When we're finished. Now the Germans are trying to counterattack. No, not doing very good. Now, with the Germans counterattacking to the other bridge, it means I should be able to steamroll this position. Because they've sent all of their infantry over to that bridge.
Ready and waiting. The ability is ready.
As you can see, there's no resistance.
Give it some throttle. Move. Check out. Push. Move.
My mortar is, my position right there is doing a very good job at holding the position.
Time for a bit of marching. You're bloody soldiers, and you. We've got a bit of
We're
trouble.
gonna pick up 2 of those Brens. We're gonna head over here and we're gonna repair
Somebody's
that.
trying to poke holes in my tank. Under fire! Just bloody go! Shall we go? Tank ready. Tank is a very small bit. Move this bloody thing!
As you can see, I just took a pretty sizable chunk of damage there.
Good news. The ability is ready for use.
So you're gonna pull the armor back.
Just like driving round Bovington, eh? Down, driver. Gunner, watch my targets.
Orders, lads.
Taking over! That's our shiners! Anyone get to the way? Keep on the sides! Look out!
Move yourself. Move! For God's sake, hurry! Move, fucking bastard!
Base artillery is ready to bombard enemies in our territory.
Bastards! Nice shooting! Out on, get anti-tank now!
Useless buggers! Drive or get out and push!
Arrange my funeral! Right then. Orders from Mr. Churchill.
Well, there's beeline over there.
And you can see, this is why these tanks are worth 185 fuel. Tough nuts that hit as hard as a rock. Definitely worth the thing. So, while I'm massacring Obercommand West, I should tell you how to kill these buggers. Countering Brits is not that difficult, actually. British forces' main problem is they are small. Even from the outset, you really can't afford that many British units. And fuel is a real problem for them. So if you stay on top of their fuel resources, so either denying them fuel points or blowing up fuel caches, etc., you're going to give the Brits real problems, because the Piat launcher, which these guys carry, is, well, when it hits like a rock, but when it hits, I mean, that's the key thing there. As you can see, I've got plenty of fuel resources, so I can keep bringing in tanks, but British tanks are a finite and powerful weapon. And if you can knock them out, the Brits are basically out of the game. They have very little in the way of Brits are good at killing infantry. Easily good at killing infantry.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
But they can't fight tanks very well. A lot of forces are pretty good at killing tanks. I mean, Americans and Germans, slaughtering tanks is reasonably easy for them because they have either Panzerfausts or they have a ton of M5 bazookas. Brits don't have
tank ready and waiting for
that much luxuries. Against infantry, these guys are deadly. As you can see, I'm just cutting through infantry without any trouble whatsoever.
An infantry section of Tommies
So,
has been trained.
as Germans, which is what you're going to be playing as fighting Brits, you want to get your armor up quick. Because that's one thing Brits can't do, is get their armor up fast.
Away to cover. Very useful. Repairs completed.
Ready for instructions. Take it steady.
Because once we get my armor up, it starts becoming nasty. So the key way to defeat them is to preempt them.
Fire now! Orders! Holding position here!
Master infantry attacking.
Pass the dressings! Killing everyone who needs it!
However, be very careful of what I'm just about to use. This thing is literally equivalent to a Russian... You know what I just did. A Russian C4.
Our capture point. They're trying to take it. Shoot those rascals! What's the job? We can get a bit of them! Loaded and ready. Come on, you armored pig. Get moving. Heavy tank ready.
I'm gonna chase that.
Home, James. And don't spare
Now,
the
you have to be somewhat intelligent when chasing.
Ready to move.
Always remember to chase enemy armor,
Rehearse.
if you can. You can't always. It's not always possible, but be careful when you do chase, because it does have a tendency of putting you in a risky position. Because you're usually chasing the enemy right into their air zone, where they have either a collection of infantry with AT weapons waiting, or maybe AT weapons themselves. We're gonna find out.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
But don't always chase them directly, especially if you're not straight within line of sight. Now here he is. The way to defeat tank hunters is to outmaneuver them. Their turning speed is rubbish, and they are rather dependent on their turning speed. As you can see, he's gone. Poor ass.
Shit, I can fix that.
Nearly lost my tank in the process, but I did get his. Just denied him valuable armor that he can no longer use against me.
Get a dressing on that. Good news.
A capture point is being overrun.
Time to be toddling along, lads. After you, Al. We've got support. Look lively now.
We're just getting clean on the hill time.
Ready for orders. Hoisted barrage is on the way. Ready and waiting. Unlock some of the decks up. Preparing as ordered. Looks like infantry. Right, another job done well by Salmon.
Where do you want us? Line her up. We're moving.
Got the last one. Sneaky little wanker. Shut up. Rightio. Move.
Now, if you are wondering why I'm only hosting standard, is because I haven't played Company of Heroes in, I'd say, at least 2 weeks.
Tank ready.
And not playing this game in 2 weeks definitely takes your edge off your blade. And apart from the fact that I haven't played the Brits since Alpha, which was, I think 3 months ago now, a considerable length of time.
Some bugger's shooting at us. Take it. Move. Come on. Try to eat us in armor. Bastards. Good hit.
And that's
Tank gun forward. Get us
like this
moving.
unit.
At your service, Alfie. Promotion to here, chaps. Engineer's finished. Prepare. Locked, loaded, and
You lot! Fall back! Now!
What's the mission? Let's be off. We've got infantry attacking.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
Enemy squad killed. Good shooting, mate.
Aye, deathlocks! Orders! Sappers, engineers carrying out repairs.
He's got a constant job.
Get red, right then. Get those supplies passed out to anyone nearby.
Move that way. Taking fire. Cover crew, awaiting new orders.
Shit!
It's a tank. We drive over and through things. Move. 1, 2, some lots.
They done it?
Repairs
There we
finished.
go.
Give the right engineers. Orders is here. Who boss wants that crowd taken over there?
Yeah. Huh? Ah, right, 4 speed, yeah.
We're losing a capture point.
Enemy infantry slide. Poor buggers.
Healing units not in combat now.
Repairs completed. Moving now.
And there you go. I shall have this wrapped up in, I would say, less than 5 minutes? Hopefully. Maybe 10 minutes. It takes a while to bleed 500 tickets.
Right, orders might be coming. Pack up your kit and the bread.
Actually, it does take a while.
Enemy country. Lovely little and a capture job.
Big shutter.
Capture. Time to move through, eh?
All ready to go.
Right there.
Now this is what the Royal Artillery guys do.
Someone shooting us.
For 25 points,
Enemy
Sorry,
threatening a
missions.
capture point.
it triggers these two gentlemen. Which is an astronomically cheap artillery strike. You name any other force that can have 2 artillery batteries firing for 25 munitions. I have to admit, it isn't particularly accurate, but you get hit by a 25 pounder, you're gonna know about it.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
Oh, that is draining a lot quicker. Anyway, I was thinking about expanding my repertoire of video categories. It's all well and good for me just to be doing essentially simple frap recordings of gameplay.
Doesn't like us.
I'd like to expand it a little bit more if I can. I guess I'm gonna see how it works out. If people find it popular or if it gets as many views as anywhere else, I might take it further. But at the moment it's just gonna be experimental. Anyway, I'm gonna let you know, since before this battle ends, I fell into the honeypot of fandom known as bronyism. Well, if you don't know what brony is, you are either a novice to the internet or you are I can't even describe anything other than a novice to the internet if you don't know what a brony is.
The
Yeah.
enemy have 300 points.
And car. Brilliant. One little bonus to your basic infantry is essentially having, well, for lack of a better words, the Uber demo packs that the Russians get. And I was thinking about doing maybe an episode or two of talking about the universal law, headcanon maybe, a few other things. I don't know, it's going to be an experiment. I'll probably release the videos within maybe the next few days or months. I don't know, it depends, really.
Nice position there.
But, anyway, if you thought that this video was terrible, give a thumbs down. It's always a valid option, and remember that it helps me as a, well, with a bit of tactics to improve my game. It's a good thing, trust me. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you are interested in seeing some more, please look at my channel or subscribe. And if you would like to see other videos in relation to tactics, please check out the rest of my Company of Heroes tactics segment. I think, no, it's not a tactics segment, it's under, it's just under Company of Heroes. It will be clearly titled though. I'll put a link in the description for it.
Any enemy units spotted in our territory will be bombarded by artillery fire.
Now this is over chasing.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
I wonder if that audio was just as loud for me as it was for you, because that was weird. These other videos that I have launched give you other basic tips and tricks which can be used for any military force, not just what I've described as, which was the kind of West and the environment, but can be used for any force. These include basic actions such as climbing fences, lines of sight, aggressive attacking, stuff that will make you a better player. Well, that's the intention anyway. It's to help you.
Our capture point. They're trying to take it.
Oh yeah, they also know that the 25-pounders have unlimited range. Still bollocksly inaccurate, but unlimited range nonetheless.
Ready to move out.
Sappers, I'll knock some of the tanks out. Shit, I can fix that.
Keep up the good work, everyone. They're down to 100 points.
Anywho, apart from anything else, please stay tuned to this channel. I shall release more stuff in the future.
Orders, lads. Tea break later. Time to go.
Depends, really. The more views and subscriptions I get, the more likes and
HQ report the
comments.
enemy have 75
Please keep
points.
commenting. Well, there's not many people commenting, but comment. Open discussions. I'm quite happy to answer whatever. I don't have much else doing. If you have any questions, just post them in the comments, and I can run you through.
The enemy only have 50 points left.
Fall back! Now!
Where do you want this coming?
Oh, we don't
Can we
want
shoot
that.
it? Well, here goes.
The capture point is being overrun.
Ready for orders.
The enemy have 25 points left.
Central attack ready to fight. Armor, point of removing.
Apart from anything else, I hope that you've enjoyed this
They only have 10 points left.
video, and that it has given you insights on something you may or may not have known about the British forces, or a different perspective on how to win.
Victory! When will the enemy learn, I wonder?
Ooh, 2 war spoils. Awesome. What I got? I got... Oh! Oh, cool! Oh, look at that! Yay! And ooh, cool. Very cool. I shall be equipping those. Anyway, you've been with the Angry Avatar, and always stay tuned for more if you'd like to see more. And I am more than welcome for anyone to send me a message or get in touch with me, and I'll give you any answers or so on that you would like to know about. Victory Strikes. That one, please. And Commanders. I'm going to replace that one. There we go. Anyway, peace out, YouTube. Have a nice day, whoever is watching.